Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgan 111, and welcome back to Fez. Since last time, I adjusted my computer clock a few times and paid attention to various colors of clock hands. I went back and I looked at old video, and I had, the first time I had gotten here, there was a hand that was moving very quickly, like a second hand, and an anti-cube appeared and disappeared. Hey, look, there's a cube. Appeared and disappeared when the hand was near the very top. And so I set my clock to a bunch of different times and took some screenshots. And I was estimating that the green hand would be near the top at 4 p.m. And so I set my computer time to 4 p.m. If we take a look at green, yeah, green is almost right near the top. And it was, I don't know, like 4 pixels to the left of where it was at 4 o'clock. And I was watching it for a minute or whatever, and I'm like, I don't think this thing is moving. But I was like, just in case, I'll leave it going. And so I came back like 10 minutes later. It's 4:13 on my computer clock right now. And even though it's actually like 10 p.m. or something. And I was like, I think it is moving a tiny bit. And then I noticed there's a cube here. And so I think anytime one of the color hands is within the top frame where the cube is, or the square of that color, then there's an anti-cube here. And so my hunch is that there were originally 4 hands. I don't know that I rotated around enough when I first came here to actually notice. But there's like 4 different clock hands, and each one has its own rhythm in terms of how fast it's moving. And so that solves the green one, and we get another cube here. And so now there's still the white one and the blue one that like still exist. And so I need to do a similar type of thing where basically blue is currently, you know, when it's 4:15 p.m., pointing down here and look at the other places and see if I can figure out how fast blue is moving and estimate when it's going to be at the 12 o'clock position. So let me figure that out, and I will be right back. Okay, so now next up is the blue hand, which I estimate is moving at about, like, it's like a minute hand, basically. And so that's moving fast enough that we might actually be able to just witness it moving on screen. I have the clock set at 450 right now. And I think when it reaches somewhere around like 4:53 or something, it would be pointing straight up. But I think like anything that's like 53 minutes after the hour or something is my estimate. But yeah, I think it originally was not already touching the outer frame of the thing, and now it is. And so my hunch is perhaps while I am speaking another 3 sentences or something, we'll actually see an anti-cube appear as this thing gets close enough in. So, I don't know, a little bit of an odd puzzle, but I get it. I was paying too much attention originally to the 3 hands that were remaining, and I'd forgotten about the fact that a hand had disappeared and I'd gotten a cube the first time I was here, so I'm glad I went back and watched the original video where I first came to this area, which might have been like, I don't know, episode 13 or something. Something else, by the way, as I was starting up the game, I realized, like, there's like Polytron, and then Trapdoor, and then it tells you about the autosave mechanism. Hey, look at that. The cube appeared. And then there's the Fez title screen, and then a really loud noise when you press the button on the Fez title screen to actually start things up. So now I'm up to 25 anti-cubes. Great. And so that leaves white. And unfortunately, white has always been kind of pointing down here. And so if there was one that was like an hour hand, and one that was like a minute hand, and one that was like a second hand, this one might be like a day of the month hand or something, so I might have to change the date, is what I'm guessing. So I'm going to do that. In any case, I've been, you know, I've recorded like, I don't know, 17 episodes of this or whatever, and each time like started up the game probably at least twice an episode, and never realized I could mash the button to mash through the first 4 like title screens or whatever before the game starts. So I've like wasted an extra N seconds of my life waiting for the title screen of this game. Is the story that I was in the midst of telling, and then all of a sudden the blue thing lit up. Okay, I'm going to try to figure out the white hand, and I will be back. Alright, so I set my computer clock back into the past. That's right, I'm a time traveler. I went back 9 days in the past, and the white hand had always been over here, And now it's over here, so I'm guessing it's about 8 days is about a quarter of the thing. And so I would need to go back another, probably 8, 9, 10, 11 days, I'm guessing. Which I think is going to put me at the 9th of the month. And so let me go adjust the clock one more time and see if that works. Alright, well, in today's revelation of me being a dummy, every time I change my clock, I've exited the game. It turns out I can have the game running and just pause it and go change the computer clock. You're not going to be able to see what I'm doing, but I am changing the date from the 12th to the 11th. And then if I go back into the game, hey look, the hand moved. And so I didn't have to redo this platforming section 20 times. I've gotten very good at it. But that was completely unnecessary, so I'm going to change the date to the 10th. And I have a feeling that'll be it. Oh no, okay, so it's actually a date and a time, because the 10th was too far. Interesting, so I need to add, I don't know, like 6 hours or something. Okay. Alright, I have changed the time, and we're still just a little bit short, it looks like. So let me bump up the time once more. Okay, it turns out that something like 4 a.m. on the 11th of this month turns out to be good enough. Had to adjust it a couple more times to hit the nail on the head. But I think now there are no more clock hands, which probably means that if I were to check the map, yes, this area has turned gold. Okay, that's great. And I got a bunch of anti-cubes there. We're up to 26 of them now. So we're kind of finishing those off. I think I know how to solve another puzzle because I had an insight since the last episode. So let me try to head there next. So, over here, this puzzle, I was transcribing just the entirety of the clue, just because I find it's useful to have things written down. I have a big notes file where I have like notes from each episode in terms of like important things that happened or things that I transcribed, as well as a gigantic screenshots folder broken up by episode, but also cross-referenced by things like I have a screenshot folder full of owls, for example, as well. In any case, when I was writing it down, first half is what it is half of what it is, second half is half of who made it. I was thinking Phil Fish and Fish. I liked Fish because it was the name of the game developer and because it fit for the 8 letters that I have available to me, and left some good letters that could actually make words. But if who made it is Phil Fish, that means it is the game Fez. So, Fez, first half is what it is. What is a Fez? A Fez is a hat. And H-A-T are other letters that I have available to me. And I think this is a red herring. I do not need this letter. If I throw it away, is it going to come back? It is going to come back. Okay, that's fair. But I bet you I can leave it down here, and it'll be just kind of out of the way. Yeah, because I don't need that one. So I'm going to spell out Hatfish, and I think that completely solves the clue. So I will meet you in a moment. Okay, here goes nothing. Hatfish. Really? That's not it? Did I spell it right? H A T F I S H. I really thought that was going to be it. I really thought that was going to be it. It is Fez. First half is what it is. Fez is a hat. Second half is half of who made it. Fish. Phil Fish was the game developer. Hat Fish. It's so perfect. If I pick up the E, it could be an E or a K or an X or a Q or a Z. And I don't think I could even lift it if I wanted it to back up to somewhere high enough to where I could use it, huh? Like, is there... I could, you know, change it to an X or something and put it as, like, between the two words or something, but I'm just kind of making things up now. Hats, H-A-T-Z. Rats. I really thought that was going to be it. Okay, well, back to the drawing board. Alright, well, I think I've just about reached my limit. I'm looking through my outstanding mysteries, and I've kind of touched on most of them recently, and I don't know how to solve them. There are a couple of purple pillars and white pillars in the world. I haven't tried Treasure Map 9 here, so that would be up, right trigger, up, A, down, left trigger, up, down. And it does not do anything here. I wouldn't expect it to. It seems like it would work at the 13 circles and maybe only at a certain time or something. Yeah, so I think I've reached the point to where I'm happy with what I've managed to solve on my own, and I'm going to start looking for some hints online. So, wish me luck finding hints without getting spoiled. Alright, so I decided to look up Fez Museum Room Secret, and apparently you can just push the bookcase. If I, like, do I have to press my... I see. I pressed my interact button in front of it. I never thought to try that. And there's the secret door. I knew exactly where it was going to be. I just didn't know what to do to get it. And it was press the button. Alright. I don't feel too bad. Oh! This is going to be the final artifact, I imagine. Also, what am I looking at here? There's people wearing Fez hats. Is that the final cube piece? I think it might be the final cube bit. It's been a while. I was kind of hoping that was going to be here too, so that's actually really great. So here is a globe. Check this out. I bet you could rotate this giant globe just like a pivot. I choose not to do that just yet. First I want to... Oh, I'm going to have to... Oh, there's a door. And there's a ladder. Where am I in the map, by the way? I'm here. I see, and there's another room. Okay, so I want to get the cube bit, and so I imagine I get it by rotating this and something happens? Oh, is there multiple doors, possibly? Or I'm gonna see the cube bit peeking through the hole one of these times, I think is what's gonna happen. There it is. Okay, and then I have to get to it by climbing the ladder, and then coming back around, and we're gonna have all 32 yellow cubes. We could remake the hexahedron, maybe. But we've already opened the 32 doors. Is Doc gonna say anything about that? No, it appears that we just need to find the other anti-cubes to open the 64 door. I'm guessing. And yeah, I don't know. Okay, so that's not actually a door. So I have to rotate this again until it becomes an actual door. This might be an actual door. Nope, apparently not. How about this way? Oh, when it showed the purple, that's actually a door. It's a shut door, and I need to open it. That's what it is. You would think by now I would know how to read this game's graphics. Okay. Oh! This will be the final artifact. And we had a letter cube, a counting cube, I guess it was called like a writing cube or something. The phrenology skull or whatever. I don't have any idea what the final one's gonna be. I was just gonna see if I could guess and predict. It is... You found an ancient artifact. Haikus, not epics. Find the tome artifact. Oh, I had read the achievements online on Steam at some point. Like, the achievements aren't hidden or whatever, and so you can look at the ones you don't have. I had read about that, but forgotten about it. Okay, you found an ancient artifact. It looks like a book. Yup, it's a book. That's what a tome means. T-O-M-E, it's a big book. Here's a nice chair. Can I sit in it? Let me try pressing my interact button. No, I cannot. Alright. Where was the door? It was back up there. Okay, great. I mean, I'm filling out all my things. I guess I'll try to get 6 more anti-cubes. Um, it's weird to me that... I mean, maybe there's... So with these artifacts, they were just kind of suggestive regarding codes I was breaking. It didn't occur to me that I could rotate it diagonally like that before. That's pretty cool looking, actually. With the skull, if I go like this, that's kind of cool. All right. I never tried to hold down 2 rotation keys at once before. And the tome itself. The tome has that kind of 3D/infinity symbol on it. And otherwise, it's got like gold embossing. It's a fancy looking book. I don't think there's much else to say about it. Okay. So, is it supposed to clue me into anything? I got a book. There are many books. We found it by stepping past some books in a hidden bookcase store. But what does it suggest to me in terms of what I should be doing? Also, we always need to do this, just in case. Someday there's going to be something when you fall off the bottom of the screen. Or maybe not, but I can always hope. I was also thinking that there might be something that was going to appear here. But it doesn't have to be that way. Alright, so... Well, bit by bit, more and more is getting filled out. So there's a white pillar. I don't know what to do with them. There is a purple pillar that says, help him trapped in a Fez factory, send help, or whatever it is. I don't know what to do there. And if we back out, here, I don't remember what's there. I should go back to that place. Yeah, I should go back to that place and see if I can figure out. There might have been a purple pillar there. But where are the remaining question marks? There's one at the lighthouse, which has a purple pillar. There is the tree with the 64 door. There is the golden bell. Ah, the golden bell. And what chimes do I have to play? And there's Hatfish, the cube puzzle. And then what is this puzzle right here? What is... Come on. This puzzle. Oh, it's just there's a bunch of candles and there's nothing to do in that room, but apparently there is something. Oh, maybe I should try my treasure map 9 clue there, since there's something there. I was just there recently. It's right next to a warp. I can get there. Okay. Let me go try that really quick. So this spooky room apparently has a secret in it, and so the one thing I can think to try is up, right trigger, up, A, down, left trigger, up, down. And it doesn't do anything here. The other thing I could try doing is just kind of mashing on left and right and hoping that there's some kind of magic incantation, but I don't know what the incantation is. So it's unlikely that I'm just going to hit it at random. So, And there are a lot of candles, but I don't think that they're encoding information in a way that I meant to decode. Yeah, I don't think they're encoding information in a way that I meant to decode. So I think we're going to be looking a couple more things up. So I looked up the bell, and I might have been able to reason this out. What have I learned? I've learned what the numbers mean. And so you ring each side that number of times, apparently. So this is 3. So I ring that side 3 times. This is 15. Alright, so I finished 15 rings there. This one is 1. And then finally this one is 6. And the 6th. think I did that correctly. 3, 15, 1, 6. Let me go back and check what I read online. Okay, so this is mind-blowing. This is 1. This is 6. This is 3. But apparently this is 10? How is this 10? In what universe can this be 10? And does that explain my weird math problems where I thought I was like adding things up and they didn't add up before? Let me see, before I actually ring the bell this many times, let me see if I can look back at my notes and back solve how the cube is supposed to work. Like, there's nothing... Like, looking at this, why would it only go to 10 up here? So we've got... Well, this just shows the way you can divide things up. So yeah, that doesn't really help me. But basically, like, there's 16 different possible things that you could show. So why is all 4 of them only going to 10? Alright, I see it now. Future video editing Brian. Enter in a screenshot. The up is 1. The right is 2. The left is 4. And for whatever reason, I just decided, clearly it's binary, and the bottom is 8. But then there was that math problem that didn't add up when I did that. And if the top is 1, and the right is 2, and the bottom is 3, and the left is 4... Then, when you have all 4 of them, then it sums to 10, and then all of the sums actually add up. And so, it's an ambiguous number system because there's multiple ways to write different numbers, so far as I can tell. But, okay, and that might mean, oh, can I read the text then? Hold on, let me take a look at that. Yeah, I don't know if there's text there that I should be able to read or anything. Okay, well, let me ring the bell 10 times, etc. And I rang it 10 times, and I'd already rung the other ones the correct number of times, and so here's an anticube. Alright, so I was right that it was doing sums. I was right that something was awry, that 2 of my sums added up and the third one didn't. But it just didn't occur to me that it was 1, 2, 3, 4 rather than 1, 2, 4, 8, and that's why. Okay, well, I'm glad I looked it up, because I don't think I was ever going to come up with that. I'd gotten too far down the wrong rabbit hole to correct myself. Okay, is there anything else that I can do with that information? I tried looking at the text, and it's just numbers, a bunch of numbers between 1 through 6. Which, oh, maybe that's a which cube. And the way that the number is formed, since it's ambiguous, is which orientation of the cube, and that's how I turned it into letters? Like converting from the number cube to the letter cube? Ooh, that's an idea I did not think of before. So I would then need the correlations between these. And so let's assume that these orientations are somehow... What? It's not which number cube. Maybe it is just. So if you see the upward version of this, it means this, and if you tilt your head so your right ear is facing the ground, and so then this looks like the number 4, and this would look like the letter W rather than the letter P when your head is straight up. I didn't try doing that. Let me actually try doing that. Well, no, that doesn't seem to work either. The first, or the rightmost column of text turns into WN, EPA, WDS, the way I was translating it. Just assuming that the same orientation of the counting cube would correspond to a similar orientation of the writing cube. So that's not the right idea. I'm still not even sure if that is like a 4-word thing in text. Like, it sure looks like it would be. Okay. Where am I in an episode at this point? Okay, so I decided to look up this one as well, and I'm very glad that I started looking up some solutions because I would have never figured this out. Apparently the answer is Metatron. Polytron, I did talk about the fact that Polytron Corp, I guess, is like the name of the developer group or whatever, or publisher or something. And so Tron, for the last half, second half is half of what made it. And the first half is what it is. It's a meta puzzle, I guess you could say. So Metatron, but then also you have to spell it with your right ear facing the ground for some reason. So I don't know why that is, but let me try to set it up. Okay, so I think this will spell Metatron when my right ear is facing the ground. And great. That didn't seem to work. Do I have to put the cubes, like, back in their actual spaced out positions? I'll try that. Alright, so if I have them in their... Oops, that's not right. So if I have them in these positions... Metatron? Is that still not right? Did I do something wrong? Darn it. Alright, my bad. When my ear is to the right of the ground, this is an I, not an O, so this should be facing upwards. So let's pick this one up, and then rotate back to where it should be, and then put this down, and it slides into the wrong spot. Let's try it there. There we go. Oh, okay. Oh! This gives me another one of these things. So it's not even an anti-cube, it's another red 7/8 cube. Okay. You found a... What is this? I don't even... Yeah, okay. So that puzzle was really obscure. When did I get the other red thingy? It was for those two little blinking dots when I was looking at the constellations. That was not quite as obscure, but it was... I was not even trying to solve that puzzle when I ended up solving that puzzle, so I guess that's kind of obscure. So maybe, like, there's different levels of collectibles for obscureness or something? I forget. There was a game, and I don't remember if it was this game. There was some game in the past where people talked about it as being more like of an ARG or something rather than just like a video game. And, I mean, Environmental Station Alpha's endgame was kind of that way as well. There are other games that are kind of like that. But this is definitely kind of feeling that way at this point. So, yeah. I imagine there'll be a lot of me using online hints and guides or whatever to get through the rest, but I am curious to see the rest. I definitely don't love that riddle unless there's some other clue, because that one was a little bit too obscure. The other ones, even the ones that I haven't been able to get, I think were all kind of reasonable, and that could have been figured out. Yeah, so, in any case, there's still more to do, and I would like to do it. So I'm going to say, for now, I hope as always that you all are having a great day, and I will see you again soon with more Fez. For now, bye-bye.